Checking out Laguna's Supermax 1938 drum sander, and talk about the perfect tool for today's project. I'm building a gentleman's dresser, and it actually has an 18.5-inch wide top panel, so it needs a little bit of smoothing after the glue up. So let's run it through the drum sander and see how it does. And the results speak for themselves. After just a couple of passes with 80 grit, the glue lines are completely gone. There's no ridges or defects. This panel is just about ready for our dresser. And that's starting to look more like a piece of furniture now with a nice flat panel. Looks good. Now mine has some optional accessories like these folding tables, which are great for longer boards, and these total lock casters that prevent the wheel from rolling or pivoting. Now, if you don't opt for the casters, the stand will come with 4 rubber leveling feet for a nice stable stance on any shop floor. One of the first things I noticed about this 1938 drum sander after upgrading from a smaller unit from a different brand, the lead screw on this has no backlash at all. It's a very precise adjustment. And I'll drop that down a little bit strong on 3/4 to start sanding our panel. Now the conveyor comes pre-calibrated to the drum from the factory, but if you want to make a slight adjustment, here's the procedure for that. To get started, make sure that the fast lever is in the upright position. Remove the sandpaper off the drum so you can get an accurate reading right from the drum itself. What I like to do is plane a board and then cut it in half so I know I have exactly the same thickness on each side of the drum. There's 4 bolts that you need to loosen, 2 at the front and 2 at the back, and just loosen that with a 4mm Allen wrench and raise it up to the top, and that just helps to get the spring roller bars up and out of your way. This part is sometimes easier to do if you raise the drum about 2 inches high. And in this situation, the right side of the drum actually meets the block before the left side, so we'll do a slight adjustment. And for that, just use a 5mm Allen wrench to loosen these 4 bolts here. And then use a 7/16" wrench to make slight adjustments to this nut here until the drum lowers down perfectly to your board. It's a very subtle adjustment. We'll move that a little bit more till the drum perfectly meets that block right there. Remember to tighten up those 4 bolts on the conveyor, and that completes the drum alignment procedure. Run the drum up and down a couple more times just to convince yourself that the alignment is perfect. That looks great. Loosen up the 4 roller bar screws to let those drop down freely. With the drum lowered all the way down to the setup blocks, raise the height adjustment crank 2 full turns, and that'll give you a correct amount of spring tension on your rollers as you retighten those 4 screws. Reinstall the sandpaper just the way it came off, making sure to almost completely fill that slot on the left side of the drum first. Roll it up, leaving a slight gap as you go. Finish up with the spring clip on the right side, and you're ready to sand. And the great thing about this, it actually has 2 independent motors, one for the conveyor with that IntelliSand feature that'll automatically slow the speed if you're working it too hard, and a second one to spin the drum. Well, that's great for narrower panels, but what about a large panel? Let's see if that can even challenge this sander, but definitely remember to drop that fast lever into the lower position. So it's hard to believe, but even this big panel is within the capacity of the 1938 drum sander. We'll just send it in one side, flip it the opposite direction to sand that other end. So the whole point of that fast lever and 2-pass sanding method is to keep the panels nice and flat. Let's see how we did. And boy, that sander really creates a flat panel. No lines or ridges in the middle. Looks great. And even the mighty PX20 planer and your best shop helper couldn't handle a panel quite that wide, so that's why it's critical to have the right drum sander in your shop. So whether you have a wide planer in your shop or not, I think this 1938 drum sander makes a lot of sense for most mid-sized shops, just because it really increases your capabilities and you can sand panels up to 38 inches wide. Plus you get some clever features like that fast lever and the IntelliSand function that'll really help to prevent burning.